All right, guys, I promised you my version, my side of the story of the trip that Lady and I just got back from. I'm going to put the links in the bottom bar to her telling about the dream that she had. And there's another link down there that is the condensed, edited soundtrack out of 7 hours. I don't know, I think I saved like 2 minutes. Now, to kind of set this up for you guys, we were in this relatively large, like an acre gravel pit, very open. And where we were at, it gave us like an unparalleled view of the night sky, which was filled with stars. The moon had gone down, we couldn't see the moon. Now, Lady K set herself up in her 0G lawn chair with her sleeping bags, and I was about maybe 8 feet away sleeping on the ground, and she had 3 puppies with her. Just before we went to bed, I set the Zoom recorder out like 30 feet away from us so it wouldn't pick up the noises of us just rustling around in our sleeping bags. And I set it to record. And I'm not sure exactly what point we fell asleep, but we didn't note any unusual activity prior to going to sleep. I mean, the place felt very welcoming and calm, and we did our thing. We go and talk to the forest and have a lot of respect for the trees and the life force that's there. And I captured some very strange activity from some stars. And at some point I must have woke up, and I think that's what it was. I woke up and I was looking out of just kind of looking at the sky, and in this dark spot of the sky, all of a sudden this red star, turned on, winked on. There wasn't anything there, and all of a sudden there's this red star there. And so I'm looking at that. Well, at the same time that star came on, I kind of had, it was really strange. It was like the feel of the whole campsite. It was almost as if, because there was crickets and tree frogs and some stuff making some noise. It was almost as if that background noise, instantly changed. And it didn't have a sense of foreboding, and it didn't like raise the hair up on the back of my neck, but I felt this presence on the other side of me, like over where Lady K was, that hadn't been there before. Like I don't know, like there was something there. I can't really explain it. So I turned my head, and as I looked over to where Lady K's lawn chair was, at the foot of her lawn chair, there were like 3 giant stumps, like tree stumps with the tops not on them. They didn't I don't know, they weren't trees. I don't know why I keep going back to this tree thing, but on either side of where she was sleeping, if I would look over at her, there were some trees silhouetted against the night sky, like they would block out the stars. There were so many of them, so you could see where the trees were. Well, in that one section, it kind of dipped down, I had a unobstructed view of the night sky, or I had an unobstructed view. Now when I look over there, there's what appears to be like a tree stump that's maybe 7 feet high, and then there's these 2 other tree stumps standing closer together that are 10, 12 feet. I mean, they're huge. I mean, like, they're really tall, and kind of thinner. Like I didn't immediately go, oh, that's a Bigfoot. I was like looking at this thinking, how did those 3 trees get there? And then like I'm trying to process what I'm looking at. And granted, it's dark, but like I can see Lady K's sleeping hammock, lawn chair thing, and right like by where her knees are, like by her torso, thighs, I guess, down to like her feet, there's these 3 tall, tall things, brownish black things, and I had a real sense of a deep texture in them, like the bark on a sequoia tree or something, or I don't know. I don't want to. I suppose you could say like matted hair, although I couldn't. I was unable to discern if there was any hair or anything. I just had this. I don't know. You could kind of make out that it was something going on there, shadows there. And I did this relatively, this look. I didn't look that long. And I had this sense to not look at them like it was rude or out of respect, or that I didn't want to interfere with whatever they were doing, right? So I turned my head back, kind of like in the direction of the star, and I didn't move a whole lot to do this. I'm not even sure if I looked back over the star. I think I might have just kind of hunkered down in the sleeping bag, and I'm thinking in my head, okay, like what's going, was there a stump there? Was there 3 stumps? No, there wasn't. No, there's nothing there. Those are not stumps. And we've had moose come in really super close, and they'll kind of startle you. And I thought, all right, maybe that's a moose, but it wasn't. It was way too high. So I did a double take. I looked back over again, and there was three big things there. And I didn't have a sense of anxiety, and for some strange reason, my mind was just like, it was like, okay, time to go to sleep. Which I know in hindsight doesn't make any sense. People are like, why would you do that? Why would you not shine a light at him, take a picture, get up? I don't really know, but I must have fell asleep. And the next thing I know, I feel like it's probably the middle of the night. For some reason, I wake up and I look over and to look to where Lady K's lawn chair is, and it's not there. Like it's gone. And so I thought, well, that's really weird, right? But then I'm rationalizing. Well, I thought, gee, she must have. And for some reason, I've totally forgotten about the 3 giant trees that were standing there before, which are also not there anymore. And I'm thinking, well, I must have been making noise or moving around, and so she, for whatever reason, she must have got up and moved her lawn chair. I think, well, where'd she move it? So I could see the car like 20 feet away or so. She must have put it over behind the car, because I could not see this lawn chair. Now she she also had 3 puppies with her, so she did this, like, it didn't make sense. Doesn't make sense now to say it, but it seemed rational at the time. Now maybe I was dreaming, and maybe she was dreaming, and we somehow connected our dreams together, but didn't feel like a dream for me. It felt real, but it was weird. Weird reactions to coming to those conclusions. But there you have it, guys. That's my side of the story.